Guys, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, SummerSlam 2025 Night 1 review. Yes, it is a two-night SummerSlam, and we're going to break it all down for you. There was a lot that happened last night, and I didn't think it was a bad show. I didn't think it was like spectacular. There were some good things. There were certainly some bad things. I don't want to say bad things. I want to say things that I didn't necessarily agree with the booking. Um, but overall, a solid show, and I think they're saving the best for last tonight. And I think the show tonight is going to be probably better than I think what we got the night before. But let's talk about it. As always, I'm Mike with 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, joined by Mr. Sean O'Neill. And Sean, how you feeling about last night?
So I thought night one was pretty good. I mean, for the weaker of the two nights to be expected going in, um, I think for the most part it delivered. Um, I definitely agree with you. There were a couple booking decisions that I don't quite understand. I
Picks
mean,
aside,
everyone,
our picks aside.
our picks aside, yes. I mean, and especially one of them, which most of our audience that watches knows my opinion of once we get to it. But I think at the end of the day, a lot of it did what it was supposed to. And I mean, you heard it here first. I've been saying for months that Seth wasn't actually injured or wasn't as injured as they were letting on. I
The
mean,
internet was not fooled.
nope. I mean, I think I was saying it before other people were talking about it. So I just had a feeling that something weird was going on there. But let's get into it.
Yeah, so let's talk about that main event, and then we'll kind of go backwards and we'll talk about the rest of the show. So the main event was CM Punk versus our champion, former champion Gunther, and this match was by far the longest match of the evening, and it was definitely a different kind of wrestling match. And one of the things, there's a couple things I wanted to point out here. One of the things that Michael Cole was on his A game for this
Yeah.
match in particular. But one of the things he had made mention of, or maybe it was Wade Barrett that made mention of this during the match, was that you can put Gunther in any era, in the
Oh,
70s with San Martino, in the 80s with Hogan, in the 90s with, Cena and Rock and Austin and those guys. And Gunther would work in any era. And he is absolutely right. Gunther looked like a monster in this match. It was an old school kind of, hard hitting wrestling match. Gunther chop after chop after chop after lariat and power bombs. And Gunther looked like an unstoppable killer in this match. And we'll talk about, where we go with him in the future. But I thought this match was awesome. This match went for almost half an hour. And I mean, it was a hard hitting old school wrestling match. And every time Punk tried to like get a little something in, Gunther just beat him down again. And I think Gunther does not lose anything coming out of this match. If anything, I think Gunther looks better. I think he looks like one of the best wrestlers in the world. So obviously, the match went on for a while. CM Punk at the end, kind of got a little bit of offense after Gunther was showboating. He tripped him up on the table. Gunther got busted open, and after Gunther was kind of bleeding from his head, it kind of allowed CM Punk to get the upper hand, hit a couple of GTSs for the win. Then we obviously had our post-match angle, which was well. First, let's talk about the match. So, how did you feel about the match and the way the whole thing went down?
so my first thought about this is you messaged us earlier on in the night in our group chat that it was like 8 o'clock and there were only two matches left,
Mhm.
which at that point I'm thinking, I mean, Punk generally as he's older, that's going to be
Yeah,
a short match. The fact that this match went a half an hour,
yeah.
I got to give Punk credit. I mean, he must have been putting in his work for his stamina and everything because I did not think that Punk at his age and his conditioning could go this long, especially with a monster like Gunther.
Hmm.
And the thing about Gunther is you're right, and I don't remember which of them said it, but they were 100% right. Gunther would fit in any era as a monster heel. I could see him up there alongside like Andre, alongside like um Kane and Undertaker in the 90s. I mean, he is such a fantastic character worker and as the ring general, and his move set is just vicious. I mean, the Punk is not just from the post match angle, but Punk is going to be feeling it today.
Oh
Like
God. Yeah,
I
yeah.
uh I wouldn't be shocked if we don't actually see him on Monday night because of how beat up he was. It might be a week before we see Punk. I mean, obviously we'll have to see him at some point within the next like 2 weeks or so, but I could see him needing a week off because this match was probably one of the hardest hitting. It was the hardest hitting match of the night.
Oh, for sure.
Um, and I mean, outside of claymores to certain celebrities, but um,
Get into
it
that.
was I loved it. I mean, I missed the very end because I was playing in a tournament and I lost and my phone died. But um, so I missed Seth cashing in at the end. So I thought we ended with Punk actually winning. So I was excited for that. I was excited to see what his reign would look like. I'm still curious to see what a Punk reign in 2025 will look like in WWE. But I loved everything about this. And then we can talk about the post match now too, because I want to
Yeah.
brag.
So after yeah, so after the after Punk won, he had a few minutes, and then sure enough, burn it down, and Seth Rollins comes out, crutches and a monster looking leg brace with Paul Heyman to his side, carrying the Money in the Bank briefcase. And we got Michael Cole telling us that he's got until June to cash in at any point. And then Seth Rollins turns around and with one of the coolest visuals
Yep.
that I have seen, has both crutches on his side and just tosses him to the ground, turns around, rips off the leg brace and takes off the shirt and just bolts down to the ring, blasts Punk with the briefcase a couple of times. One curb stomp later, and Seth Rollins leaves as your new world heavyweight champion. And this was awesome. This was absolutely awesome. I'm not mad about this in the slightest. I think this was a fantastic way to to send the crowd home. I think for the end of the first night. And I was convinced that Seth was going to cash in at the end of night two. And I'm so glad that this happened here. And it's great because I think you can do so much with these two guys. And it pretty much, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with Cody and with Cena and that and the SmackDown title, but this is pretty much guaranteed your main event for night one of WrestleMania next year. Unless something horrible happens and we get another injury to either one of these two guys, this is your main. I mean, this is going to be a year-long story between these two guys. And I don't like I'm not, if I'm a Punk fan, which I like Punk, I like his on-screen character. Um, and I think this is going to be great for him. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the Chamber or if he wins the Royal Rumble, and he's going to be the one to eventually take that belt off of Seth.
So I want to make a point just on something you said here. Since we didn't do a SmackDown review,
Mm.
um, the Cody Cena match. How about the fact that now there's a bunch of intrigue with that match after Friday night?
Oh, yeah,
Like with us not talking about doing a SmackDown review, we didn't get a chance to talk about the Cena face turn,
yeah.
and
We can get into that in a little bit.
so I want to talk about that before the show is over. But I think Seth Monday Night Raw is in for a reign of terror with Seth
Yeah,
Rollins as your champion and his group, and it makes the results of the first match of the night not matter like at all. I think that if Seth wouldn't
that's
have
why they
cashed in,
that's why they did that.
exactly. I think if Seth, which I'm kind of disappointed because I would have liked to see a certain ending to it, but we'll talk about it when we talk about the match. But Seth winning negates that, and they're going to run wild for months on Monday Night Raw. Anybody who
Mhm.
tries to stand up to them, they're going to demolish. And this is
Mhm.
where we're going to see our fourth member show up. They're going to recruit somebody else for his group or call up. Honestly, you guys are starting to convince me on the Ethan Page thing.
I think
Um,
it's gonna be Ricky Saints now.
Really? Oh yeah, with
I
everything going on in NXT, I could see it.
do.
Um, but I think, I mean, my brag here for a moment before we get to our show about points on Monday. Um,
Well
I
done.
called it. I've been
You
calling it for a
nailed
while
that main
now.
event. You nailed it.
But Seth coming out, and when I watched the highlights, him coming out with the leg brace and the crutches really did a good job of selling. Oh, maybe he's actually injured, and Cole with the he has until June, and Rollins himself screaming, "You hold on to that tight." It just into the visual of him standing there and dropping the crutches was
So
just it was my first thought was that was such a great visual from WWE to do that.
so
Um,
cool.
let's talk about those briefcase shots though that he gave to Punk. He gave him like four unprotected headshots.
Yeah, yeah. They like the just the vitriol between these two guys. Like
It
they
helps the
re
story.
yeah, I mean like they always say like, oh, these two guys don't like each other. These two guys really don't friggin' like each other. Like they really do not like each other at all. And I think it really shows in the way they interact. Like, because that venom between these two guys is real. Like the
Yep.
promos between these two guys, like this is not. And I'm honestly surprised that like, because we know that Punk has, we've seen it, right? Especially in his AEW run, Punk has a short fuse, and I'm
Yep.
really surprised that he has not like just gone off the edge on Seth Rollins. You know what I mean? Because the venom's real between these two guys.
Watch it turn out that it's actually not, and they're just faking this whole thing that they hate each other. We see
Mhm.
a picture of them like out for beers. But no, I mean, you don't normally see unprotected headshots, especially with the security, with the health protections that WWE has nowadays. And
Yeah.
so the fact that Punk was okay with that is
Because he has to
incredible.
be. He would have had to be.
And exactly. And because I mean, obviously he's putting himself in danger, but the fact, I mean, the second I saw, well, Punk was celebrating and Seth's music hit, the look on Punk's face, I was like, yep, it's over. Because you could tell by the look on Punk's face that he was going to lose it.
He was,
Um,
I mean, and he was gassed.
oh
Like he
yeah,
was gassed, you
yep.
know?
And I mean, he tried to fight. He got him up for the GTS there for a second, but there's no way you're stopping a fresh Rollins after
Mhm.
being just put through hell by Gunther. Like, I don't care if you're Hulk Hogan. Like, there's no way that's happening. I mean,
Yeah.
admittedly, it would be kind of funny to see the Money at the Bank briefcase during the Hogan era. R.I.P. Hogan. Don't cancel us. But I think that I loved it. I loved the ending. I mean, not just because I was right, but I loved it. I love seeing Seth as champ. I mean, the dude has carried Monday Night Raw on his back multiple times, and I know a lot of people like to shit on Seth. Pardon my language for burying people, but the guy doesn't. The guy is such an amazing worker. I guarantee you will see that title belt. Actually, I don't know because I feel like this character shouldn't defend the title belt as often as old Seth used to.
Oh,
I
I
think
agree.
like old Seth used to defend this belt like every other week. I think this character should force people to earn those title shots.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
and not like in a skeezy way, but just not like how Cena has been like with oh I'm too tired, but like oh well you don't deserve it. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, you're gonna have to get through my boys and stuff like that in order to do that.
Exactly. And I think
And
that type of
yeah,
story fits better. And I'm not going to lie, with the way the last couple weeks of WWE have been, and I know part of it's been fatigue from just so many PLEs in a row and all that, and it's been impacting storyline. I think that SummerSlam, both yesterday and today, is going to be used as a pretty good reset, especially with the way some of these matches ended. And I'm looking forward to the fact that we're getting this like quasi reset here. I think it's going to help the storyline. I think it's going to help us as fans. I think it's going to help them as wrestlers.
we've got a lot of, and we'll talk about it, but we've got a lot of opponents lined up for Seth now.
Yeah, there's a
Like,
certain tribal chief.
and I hate to say it, but a certain redheaded Syrian as well.
God damn it.
It's gonna happen. Tell
It
me, tell me
is.
I'm wrong. It's gonna happen.
You're not, and I
Uh,
hope he loses badly.
yeah. So let's get into it. The show obviously opened with a ton of pomp and circumstance, and they had the singing of God Bless America, and then Cardi B was announced as our host for the show, which
Did
whatever.
nothing.
She I didn't it like I was kind of surprised they didn't have her like do more. Like
Right.
they showed her sitting beside the other guy who was like the I forget, Brewski or whatever his name was, who did the like the video package as well for SummerSlam. But I mean, Cardi B couldn't even be bothered to like take the time to like learn anybody's name because she was literally reading off of a teleprompter. It was kind of embarrassing, but whatever. I guess they were trying to like, go off of her star power or whatever. Hey, look who we got to do this. So what I
Well,
mean, it was harmless. So like I don't really even want to talk about it
hold on.
more.
I mean, after the fallout of the Travis Scott stuff, maybe they just didn't really want to do a whole lot.
Yeah, which I'm fine with, like whatever. It was completely harmless and it added nothing to the show, maybe brought a few more eyeballs to the show, but whatever. But the main show opened up with the match between our OTC, Roman Reigns, and main event Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And after 12 minutes of entrances,
I thought it was
this
an
match,
Undertaker match.
this match finally started. Like, I love Jey Uso, I really do, but holy crap, with
Yeah.
his friggin' entrance, it is way too long.
And the fact
Way
that they roll it
too
back.
long. Yeah. And like right when the match that was actually kind of a funny moment though, because like right when the match had started, the Roman and Jay threw the bronze out of the ring, and then Jay tried to get his music going again, and it went for like a second, and then you could tell Braun Breaker was like, F this crap, and he like threw something at him. It was pretty hysterical. But
I
this match
love
was
that.
awesome. It was a good match. It was a hard-hitting match. It went for maybe like 10 to 15 minutes, and you know, the Bronze really got a lot of offense in. Braun Breaker looked like $1 million. He really had Roman's number for a lot of this match, and I certainly think the feud between those two guys is not done. And the ending sequence came after Braun Breaker after Roman Reigns took the bullet for Jey Uso. And Jay was able to reverse it around on Bronson Reed and hit him with the splash for the win. And I thought this was great. I thought Roman did excellent character work here. I was kind of surprised that Jay was the one to get the win, but that's
Yeah.
okay because like we had said when we were reviewing this before, and obviously with the way the main event had went, you're right when you say that, you know, it doesn't hurt these two guys to lose here at all. And there's no way you're going to have Roman Reigns go almost like I said, a full calendar year without picking up a win because Roman Reigns
Yeah.
has not won a match since Survivor Series last year. And like I'm perfectly fine with the way this whole thing went down. And yeah, it was an excellent match, and I think it was a great way to kick off the show. It was a good feel-good moment initially. But hey, how did you feel about the match and everything about it?
So I predicted the Bronze to win this match, but I predicted it being perfectly okay, knowing that I was probably going to lose this one. I think that it would have been a huge moment to have Braun pin Roman,
Hmm.
but I'm also okay with it, like I said, because of everything that happened later in the night. And they 100% did not hurt Braun Breaker at all in this match. Braun
Mm.
Breaker continues to look like the future of the WWE.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, and Roman selling for him the way that he did, Roman being willing to take the spear for Jay. I mean, I was shocked that Jay got the pin. And you know what? Laugh at me all you want, but I think Bronson Reed was fantastic in this match.
Well, look good.
We like to give Bronson crap for being the weak link here, but the guy looks like he's dropped weight, put on muscle, and he looked great in this match.
That suicide
Especially
dive he did through the middle rope was unbelievable.
right. Like, I mean, yeah, he almost killed himself, but I mean, when you're a man that size, I mean, I guess that's going to happen because you're top heavy. But I think that he was almost the MVP of this match because it was unexpected how good he looked. I mean, we expected everything we got out of Braun and Roman. I mean, Jay does the same things he does every time. I think his spear on Braun looked pretty good because it was more of like just an impact with his shoulder than a normal spear. And I just I think that this match worked, especially because of the way the night ended. And I am 100% fine with it ending. I think Roman taking the spear for Jay though might be a passing of the torch moment. Especially with Roman, us all knowing Roman's aspirations to go and follow his cousin to Hollywood, he who shall not be named, and
Such a terrible choice.
with us knowing that, I mean, I'm still real nervous about tonight, but um, I think that with Roman going to film Street Fighter and he's going to be away again for probably a couple of months after this, I think that I think it's a good way to do it.
And like I want to give a special shout out to Roman here as well because like Roman doesn't normally do like big splashy moves, but I was blown away when Roman Reigns jumped over the top rope and did a bat like a moonsault splash onto everybody on the outside. I was like thinking to myself, Jesus, Roman Reigns does
We
not do that. Like Roman
we
Reigns
haven't
does not do that move.
we didn't see that move into the entire time that he was the tribal chief. That was
Nope.
something that he used to do back when he was with the Shield.
Yep.
And to see him bring that back into his repertoire, big word of the day there. My Michael Cole big word calendar, um, was telling you that he was bringing his A game to this match and
Yeah.
willing to throw safety to the wind to help put the Bronze down.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we're all done when we're all done reviewing this show, I want to do a little bit of fantasy booking with you with regards to where we go with Roman, where we go with Punk, and where we go with everybody involved because we
Yeah,
got so many guys to talk about like which directions we're going to go and stuff like that. But let's move on to the next match, which, you heard it here on this podcast months ago that the outcome of this match was absolutely going to happen here. The next match was, of course, for the women's tag team championship between our champions, the Judgment Day of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus the We're Not Best Friends team of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And this match was actually pretty good. And I mentioned it in the chat that we have going on that I was shocked that about the way that they turned Charlotte Flair around because the crowd was cheering for her, and when she got the hot tag, the crowd went nuts, and it is pretty incredible to me that we're living in a world now where people are cheering for Charlotte Flair, and you can thank Alexa Bliss for that. Like, I
yeah,
mean, it has been a wild ride, and I'm really glad. And because you know what, it's so easy to hate on Charlotte Flair, because of like just she was female Roman Reigns there and female Hulk Hogan, kind of like Becky was for a long time. And I think this was great, and Charlotte and Alexa obviously picked up the win. After kind of a bit of a mishap towards the latter half of the match where Alexa accidentally hit Charlotte. And then, Charlotte got up a little bit later and looked like she was about to nail Alexa, but then instead went for the boot on Raquel. And then Alexa gets the or not the twisted twist, what's the Braves move called? The Sister Abigail on Roxanne, and they pick up the win, and they are your new tag team champions.
yeah. Her that Sister Abigail DDT that she does, her variation of it is such an awesome move.
It's
Um, but I mean, not to blow my own horn here, but I mean, I believe I called this back right after like WrestleMania.
You've been banging this drum for a while.
And the fact that the WWE writers and Alexa Bliss were able to turn a crowd that hated, hated Charlotte Flair into a crowd that was cheering for her is absolutely some of the best work that I could say has been done in a very long time in WWE. Because, I mean, I know we like to hate on Charlotte because Charlotte wins, LOL, but the way they've actually, through this storyline, made her a likable character is incredible. And I couldn't tell you the last, I mean, outside of turning Roman Reigns into the tribal chief, that's probably the last time I've seen them be able to turn a character from universally despised into universally loved. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Um, and it's gonna be sad when one of them turns on the other, and I'm not quite ready to pick which one of them turns on the other one. I'm gonna give that a couple days to think about, see if I can get that one right too. Um, I have my early thoughts on that, which I think is gonna be Alexa, but I think this match was great. I think Roxanne and Raquel actually worked together better than Roxanne and Liv, as crazy as that sounds. I think their styles work a little bit better.
Mhm.
Um, and I can't say enough about Roxanne Perez. My God, that woman is incredible. Like, for the fact that she is like 3'2", everything that she does in the ring is just great. Hitting that pop rocks on Charlotte, was when Charlotte is like 4 feet taller than her, was just an incredible move. I thought they had it won there. Um, I just, I think this is the right way to go. Like I said, I said it a while ago, but I'm very curious to see what now happens with the Judgment Day. If this was the start of the loss of gold for the Judgment Day, and with Liv rumored to be returning sooner rather than later, it'll be very interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent. Aces all around for this one. And then after this is certainly where the show seemed to take I don't want to even say a little bit of a dip, but some, I think the next the next three matches actually all had unexpected outcomes. And the next match was, of course, the match between Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. And you know what? I'll let you talk about this one because I know Karrion Kross is your boy, and I'm sure you got a little bit of a rant in you on how this whole thing went down.
So we've been seeing this for months now with this feud between Cross and Sammy, and people are, I don't know if it's other people or if it's just us here on this podcast who are starting to get tired of Sammy's underdog shtick and constantly being able to overcome every single adversity put in front of him. I know I sure as hell am. I would like to see a little bit of edge put into his character. Maybe not a heel turn, but just edge of some sort. And I think this match was the perfect opportunity to do it. Um, I think that Karrion Kross deserves a PLE major moment. And so this match went on, and Cross pretty much did his usual hard impact beating up Sammy match until Sammy managed to take him down, and Scarlett offered Sammy the Iron Pipe. And for a minute there, it looked like Sammy was going to use it. And that's where I have a problem with this match. I personally think Sammy should have used the pipe. I don't care that it would have gotten him disqualified or it would have been a bad look for him to win using it. But I think Sammy using the pipe would have added enough. Oh, is he willing to go slightly overboard to win his matches now to overcome adversity and add that to his character? And I would have been fine with Cross losing that way. The fact that Sammy beat Cross clean after throwing the pipe at Scarlett or next to Scarlett, because it is what it is, but the fact that he beat Cross clean is incredibly disappointing to me. I mean, Karrion Kross has organically gotten himself over by being himself. He has been one of the best merchandise sellers in WWE, which we know was always a big thing for WWE. I mean, look at Jey Uso. And I'm incredibly disappointed that they have treated him the way that they have, especially when there had been talk backstage for the longest time that Triple H was real high on Karrion Kross. I don't for the life of me understand why they have been so anti-Cross and Scarlett. Um, they had such an opportunity here. I mean, you could have that if Cross wins, or even if Cross loses via Sammy doing his thing, Cross can move on to somebody else and continue his devil on your shoulder thing. I don't know where he goes from here. If it's he's done with WWE, which I hope not, but like we were talking about on our Raw review the other day, there's conflicting rumors on whether or not Scarlett and him have re-signed. I've heard he has. T heard he hasn't. But I just if he has resigned, the other thing that scares me is the talk of him having a babyface turn, because I think a babyface carrying Cross just does not work. The his personality, the things he does, like the devil on your shoulder thing, how do you turn that face? You know what I mean? Plus, the guy
Yeah.
just looks like a natural born heel. Like he just looks like he's going to punch you in your face when you run into him. Um, Other than the fact that he has a great sense of humor, as evidenced during WrestleMania when he was going around Las Vegas telling people he was Roman Reigns. Um, I think that I mean, if you've ever watched his outside of the ring stuff, the dude's hysterical. Um, but I want to see WWE do right by him, and if that means him leaving again and having to come back again at a later point, I'll be sad to see him go. But hopefully he comes back. I just don't want to see him go to AEW because I think he would just be buried there.
I don't think he's going to go to AEW. I mean, I do think that he should leave though. I really do because obviously this is not like I think the way that I agree with you that the way that they booked this was probably the worst possible way to book this because the only thing like it's like if Cross is staying, this does nothing for Cross. It makes him look like a loser. If Cross is leaving, fine, right? Like if Cross is leaving, then whatever. This is fine. This is the way to do it. If you're trying to build up Sammy to be a contender to Seth again, like like what are we like he needed some edge into his character.
Right,
He should have taken the pipe because he's just going to face Sam or face Seth and lose, right?
right.
Like he's not Sammy is not with Roman, with Roman hovering around and with everything going on. Like Punk obviously seems like the natural person to be the one to take the belt off of Seth. So like I don't believe for a second that Sammy is going to be the one to do anything here. Like what are we doing with Sammy? We're just going to be like spinning our wheels with
Yep.
Sammy. Sammy's not going to beat Seth. You know, he's like right now probably fourth in the pecking order of people I would pick to beat Seth, with Gunther, uh, Roman, and Punk being ahead of him, right? So I don't know. I think that the way that this ended was just kind of pointless, and like this was just it just felt like we're just putting this on here just to put this on here. Like
They had
there was no reason for this match to be on this card at all
not if you don't have Crosswind.
with the way it ended. Or to your point about Sammy using the pipe, that would have
Yep.
been fine. If Sammy would have hit him with the pipe, that would have been fine. I would have been perfectly fine with that. But the way this ended just seemed completely pointless. And it was certainly, and I'm not even saying that as a fan of Karrion Kross, and because I don't hate Sami Zayn like you guys do. But it's just really
Hate him.
more it's just really more of like the match itself, and the outcome of the match was completely pointless because it doesn't further anybody.
So
So I don't love any of it.
I don't I don't hate Sami Zayn. I hate the direction that they've taken his character. His character has had zero growth since he left the bloodline. I mean, he's been this underdog that just it feels like they're trying to recreate Daniel Bryan, but just without the success. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not normally a fan of DQ finishes, especially at like PLEs, but I think a DQ finish in this match would have been 100% okay. And I think it would have actually helped both guys. And I just, like I said, I don't hate Sami Zayn. I just want to see some growth to his character. I'm just tired of seeing the exact same thing out of him because for like 2 years now, I mean, when did he leave the bloodline? About 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, when he turned on Roman at the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago.
I think that I mean, I'm sure do you agree? Like, there's been zero growth to his character.
No, he's been the exact same thing. There's no edge. Like they had multiple opportunities to add edge to his character, and they just really didn't do it.
Right. Like, I'm okay with not turning Sami Zayn heel, but how are we going to believe that he can beat Seth if he can't do what it takes to get through the bronze? Because
Yeah.
whoever's going to beat Seth is going to have to get through the bronze. And we've already seen him get destroyed by both Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. So we know that he does not really have much of a fighting chance against the two of them if he's not willing to go the extra mile.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they're just keeping him like such a underdog, like white meat baby face. I really don't get it. I mean, you have, I don't know.
At
You
some
have an,
point, the fans
but
are
you
going
haven't.
to turn on him.
Yeah, they are going to turn on him eventually, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have much more to say about this match. I mean, the whole thing was just disappointing, and it seemed pointless. Like it could have just been a TV thing. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, you could have put Aleister Black and Damian Priest here, and I think it would have been better.
Yep.
So, but whatever, that's fine. Let's move on to, I mean, because we all kind of we all predicted the Rollins thing to happen, but let's talk about what to me was the probably the biggest shock of the evening, and
Yep.
that is Tiffany Stratton retaining her
Yeah.
WWE Women's Championship. And props to Terrence, on our co-host here, who got that right in picks, and you and I did not. And I just thought there was no chance Jade was going to lose. And this was a short match. It went maybe 10 minutes, and yeah, Tiffany just won clean. Hit the I was then maybe the match Jade got a couple of her moves in, and then she hit her with a finisher, and she went for the same pin that she went for, and where she lays back and kind of holds the leg. But Tiffany, to her credit, got her leg up on the rope, and it seemed like it really rattled Jade. And then Tiffany just turned it around, hit her with the prettiest moonsault, and picked up the 1, 2, 3 for the win here. This match went 10 minutes. It was like, I mean, the match itself was like a nothing match, and we've talked about Jade's kind of inadequacies in the ring, and I think for the most part she was fine here. But the I am stunned. by the outcome here. I am absolutely stunned. And I don't know if they just did this for like pure shock value, but wow.
So Jade definitely looked better in this match than she did in the Queen of the Ring match. I mean, we can definitely still tell that Jade is not ready. Um, I mean, if she would have gotten off that jaded from the top rope, it probably would have killed Tiffany Stratton. So I'm glad that they didn't go with that and they reversed that into Tiffany winning. The outcome of this match makes me wonder if maybe WWE realizes that Jade still needs more time. Because you and I were both 100% in on Jade winning just because of how WWE has been treating her, how WWE has been pushing her. I mean, they look at the entrance they gave her, coming out looking like Rogue. I mean, Tiffany got her just her normal entrance. Like Jade got a special entrance, and you generally only see that when they're expecting big things out of you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I think Stratton made Jade look better in this match, even which is kind of a shock considering that Stratton isn't exactly the like Charlotte Flair of wrestlers. But I am incredibly happy that we were wrong with this one. And I believe I said it during our prediction show that I was picking Jade because of the way WWE has treated her, but I would be perfectly okay with losing that one.
Yeah. I can't I mean I'm very interested to see where they go with this. And they had an interesting stat during this match that Tiffany Stratton, since winning, obviously, since winning the belt, she hasn't lost, but Tiffany Stratton is like 16 and 0 in WWE. She doesn't lose.
No,
And
they,
that's fascinating to me that like they protect her that much. And to her credit, she is 24 years old.
yep.
And I mean, she is going to be like we talk about Braun Breaker being the future of WWE. Tiffany Stratton is the future of the women's division in WWE. She's going to be there for a decade, and she's probably going to win 20 titles.
Which is incredible to me because she is, I mean, she's being a former gymnast and everything, her ring work is pretty solid. I mean, she still does flub some ever so often, but she is on the newer side still. But her promo work is not great. And the
It's
fact
getting
that
better. It's getting better.
it is. The more that they're using her, it's getting better. But it kind of surprises me that WWE was willing to go so all in on her. Especially when you have people like Jade and Charlotte and that all back. I mean, I guess when we saw her go over Charlotte at Mania, that should have been a sign. But I don't know if if maybe she's just real high on Triple H's list from when he was running NXT. But I'm happy that she's looked as good as she has, that they've treated her the way that she has, and I think it's smart for WWE to utilize her to build the future of their women's division under.
Yeah.
I mean, you have her at this point. She won the title in what, January?
When did she cash in on Naya? Yeah,
I think
that sounds about right. I think it was before the Royal Rumble.
I
Was it
think
before?
so.
Yeah.
So now she's held the title for about 8 months. For a
Mhm.
first time title holder, having never held any other title before, that's no small feat. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, I think, and like I said, I think she helped make Jade look a little bit better in this match, which, considering that Jade's last match was against Asuka, is kind of shocking. But I was happy to be wrong with this one. I will say that.
Where do we go from here with these two?
I'm hoping we get a program between Bianca and Jade
Mhm.
that takes Jade away from the title picture and keeps Bianca away from the title picture at least for a little while. But I don't know where we go with Tiffany as of right now because
Yeah,
like
I mean, we need a new
I,
we need a new. I mean, I don't want her to just go back to like
Nia
Naya,
Jax.
right? I mean, like you need to start building up some more women here, and obviously Charlotte and Alexa are tied up, right? And Asuka and Kyrie are doing the tag team thing right now.
And
So like
Julia is already a title holder because I
Julia's the
wouldn't have
title
minded
holder.
seeing Julia go after her.
Yeah, and I mean, and Stephanie and Julia might still go after her eventually, but that might be a while down the road kind of thing.
And Stephanie is, but now here's the question. I think it'll hinge on who wins the now. Now my pick for tonight for the women's match is a lot more questionable because Tiffany winning means Stephanie could go after Tiffany instead.
No, she's. I mean, they've been saying like she's going to go after the Raw
They
title,
have, but
but
but this gives WWE an excuse to have Rhea finally get her win over Io Sky.
wouldn't that be so? I mean, I would
So don't be shocked.
I would feel real bad for Naomi if they gave her like a friggin' 20-day title reign, though. You know what I
I'm
mean?
just,
That would
I'm
be.
not 100% sold on that, but don't be shocked if you see Rhea end up winning the match tonight. I'm just saying that now. You heard
Yeah,
it here first.
yeah, that would be something if Rhea picks up the win tonight and Naomi drops it. I'm having a really hard time thinking like they're gonna give Naomi a 20-day title reign. Like that would be really disappointing, but you
I mean,
never
it's
know.
happened before. I just
Uh,
think that the Tiffany match just throws a little bit of more intrigue into that Raw Women's match.
yeah, because you certainly could have Stephanie beat her, right? Like, I mean, and I would have no issue with Stephanie
Nope.
beating Tiffany Stratton at all. Um, and then this leads us to the final match before the main event, which was our celebrity match, which also had a really shocking ending. With the heels picking up the win, but Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. And obviously, as we mentioned here, that the heels did pick up the win with Jelly Roll getting pinned. Um, I am. I need to go on my soapbox here for like 30 seconds. And I know everybody loves to crap on Logan Paul. And as a human being, yeah, Logan Paul's a kind of a dirtbag, but he's a great friggin' wrestler. He's a great friggin' wrestler.
Yeah.
That that frog splash he did from the top of the ring post onto Jelly Roll through the announce table. He's done that a couple of times. No, but my God, there's nobody who does it better. It is the height he gets, the way he does it just perfectly. It's spectacular. Logan Paul was the highlight of this whole match. Absolutely spectacular. I'm stunned that the heels got the win here. Um, we normally don't ever see celebrities, and none of us got it right. Obviously, Reese was on the fence about it a little bit, but shocked, absolutely shocked. And like I said, props to Jelly Roll. He did a good job here. He certainly, you certainly could tell he put in the work,
Yep.
and he looked like a celebrity wrestler, but still, he looked all right. So I was certainly not displeased with the way this whole thing went down.
So I believe I said during the prediction video that the smart play here would be for the heels to get the win, especially with Randy having won at Saturday Night Main Event.
Mhm.
And I wish I would have committed to that. But the fact that this is a celebrity match, I mean, we even talked about it after we went off the air last week. The last time that a celebrity lost was David Arquette.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when's the last time David Arquette was relevant enough to be a celebrity on WWE?
Yeah.
Like, no offense, David. It wasn't a shot at you if you're watching, but I love doing Scream, um, and Ready to Rumble, one of my favorite movies of all time. But I just, I'm shocked. I think that Jelly Roll for a celebrity, and especially one of those celebrities who, like Stephen Amell and Bad Bunny, put in the work to actually like learn the craft. He took that. I mean, every Claymore he's taken has looked like it would kill a person. I mean, McIntyre keeps Claymoring him in the side of the head. The dude's got to have CTE by the time this is over.
Oh yeah.
And that table spot when Logan Paul put him through the table, that had to hurt like a bitch for that. Like the height Logan Paul got, and then to be put through a table like that. Like, when's the last time you see a celebrity be willing to do something like that?
Yeah.
And we all knew that he was going to pull the, oh, I'm going to struggle to get back in the match. And I really thought that that's where it was over. I thought that it was going to be the turning point for the faces, and Jelly Roll was going to pick up the win, pinning Logan. And to join you on your soapbox, I know that people love to hate on Logan Paul because you're right. The dude, as a podcaster, especially in his younger days, was an absolute scumbag. I mean, he's not quite as bad now, and that's no doubt because he's under the WWE umbrella. And they probably keep him in line a little bit. But the guy's a natural born heel. Like his personality and just that ego. The guy will The guy will never be a believable face
Oh,
ever.
when he does this to the crowd, dude,
Yeah,
it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
like he will never ever. There's no way WWE could turn him into a believable face ever.
Mhm.
Um, and so that, like you said, that frog splash, incredible. And the guy is just, he's been what in WWE now for like 3 years. To see his transformation from a celebrity guest at WrestleMania teaming with The Miz into, I don't know if I'd call him a 5-star wrestler yet, but definitely a 4-star wrestler. Like, the guy built a wrestling ring at his mansion so that way he can be training all the time. The guy is probably one of the most committed people in WWE outside of people like Sheamus, who you see literally all the time, like training. I think that, and it tells you a lot about him as a person that he wants to look this good and that he's that committed. And you know what? I give Logan Paul all the props. I'm happy they won here. I'm happy he won. And I think that sooner rather than later, and I know your brother is going to hate this, but we're going to see Logan Paul as world champion.
Yeah, I think maybe not in the next 12 calendar months, but maybe in the next 24 calendar months, I think Logan Paul will be champion.
And it's going to be incredible. I think him going on all the podcasts, him doing his podcast, him doing all the media runs, he is going to be such a sleazebag that it is going to be. I don't even know who I would compare it to from back in the day. Maybe Hollywood Rock from back in the day with
Yeah.
just the way it's going to go down. And I hate to say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm 100% looking forward to it. I think it's going to be he is the exact type of person that everybody can love to hate because they have everything. They It reminds me a little bit of MJF in AEW with his, well, I'm better than you. You know what I mean? Logan Paul 100% gives off that vibe because unlike MJF and AEW, Logan Paul actually has all of that.
Yeah.
He has the money, he has the fame, he has the women, and he flaunts it because he has it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so overall, SummerSlam Night 1, while some of the booking decisions were certainly questionable, I thought it was a great show. I had a good time watching it from start to finish, and I am really looking forward to tonight. And I know you wanted to briefly touch on what we're going to see tonight with regards to what happened on SmackDown with John Cena
Yeah,
seemingly. I don't think it was a ruse. I really
no,
don't think it was a ruse. I think John Cena legitimately turned babyface in the opening segment of SmackDown. And I mean, there was a lot to unpack from that. He basically acknowledged that the heel turn was a failure. And he acknowledged that, Rock was supposed to have his back, and Rock basically didn't have his back, and Rock just disappeared, which I thought was fantastic. And it's certainly interesting that everyone's just, you know, crapping all over Dwayne, and that they're allowing that to happen. I mean, John Cena can get away with it. But like even if he went completely off the cuff there, like what are they gonna do? Gonna punish John Cena? No, you're not. You
right.
know what I mean? So I feel like there are certain people on that roster, probably Cena, Cody, Punk, maybe Roman Reigns if he wanted to. Like there are a few people who could probably get away with crapping on Dwayne, but most of them cannot. You know what I mean? And he also obviously made note of, basically the Travis Scott experiment is done in
Yep.
WWE as well, which good, right? I mean,
I have a thought on that.
it certainly it the one thing that it did do, which in hindsight, with hindsight obviously being 2020, it completely crapped all over the way you ended WrestleMania,
Yep.
right? Like, I mean, that what the hell was the point? What the hell was the point of WrestleMania at all? Right? Like the main event of WrestleMania now, like looking back at it, was completely friggin' pointless. It
Yep.
should have, like, they never should have, they turned him heel strictly for the shock value of it. And now, like, unless we're going to turn Cody heel tonight, which I don't think we're going to do. I mean, I'm willing to be surprised. I'm like 50-50 on Cody
Yep.
turning heel tonight. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Cody's going to do a little bit of a couple underhanded things tonight,
But it's a
but I
street fight.
Yeah, but it's a street fight. I do not think that Cody is going to turn full-blown heel tonight. I still think Cody's probably going to win, but I mean, hey, with Gunther losing and Gunther still rumored to be Cena's last opponent, we could have Gunther be the one to take the title off of him in December.
I don't think that has to be for the title though. So before we get into our fantasy booking and everything we wanted to talk about after here, um, I would give night one of SummerSlam a 3.5, probably almost 4 stars.
Hmm.
Like I said, it for what was expected to be the lesser of the two nights, it had enough shock value and good wrestling. Because honestly, outside of the Tiffany and Jade match, most of the matches had real good wrestling in it.
Yeah, Sammy and
The,
Karrion wasn't
the
great.
Sammy Carrion cross match was up there too with the Jade and Tiffany match. But other outside, so 4 out of the 6 matches
4 out of the 6 matches were good
were good.
wrestling.
The
Yeah,
other two were all right, but it's not enough for me to take a ton of points away from it. I was
yeah,
happy with the night. I'm happy with the soft reset we get, and I was happy, like I said, with the shock stuff. The only thing that I was really not happy with was the Karrion Cross and Sammy thing.
yeah.
Um, so getting into SmackDown though, couple thoughts. So Cena and Cody. Question: we all know that Cena has creative control of his
Yes.
character. Was this Cena himself coming out and taking these shots at The Rock, or was Triple H involved in this too?
What do you mean?
Because we know the problems that Triple H has had with The Rock lately, and
Oh, yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
him inserting himself into the things. Was this partially a shot at him and all of that?
I mean, do they allow that? I mean, like, let's
I
be
don't
honest.
know. I mean,
With Dwayne's ego, like, because I mean, so much of this is like we have to feed Dwayne's ego,
this
you
whole
know?
thing is feeding Dwayne's ego, which leads me to partially wonder, is this feeding Dwayne's ego to have Dwayne show up tonight pissed off at Cena and Cody aligned with The Rock?
Well, it's certainly possible that Dwayne could show up and like, even if Cody doesn't want his help, Dwayne could just help him anyway, you know? But I mean, honestly, Dwayne was on I don't know if it was a podcast or something recently where he basically was like, I'm the greatest heel of all time, right? And if anything, this
Inadvertently.
does like he is inadvertently he's like this is all being reaffirmed, right? Like that he's
Yeah.
just a big piece of crap. Like he's a big corporate piece of crap. And he might want that. You know what I mean? Like he might want people to think of him that way. And if anything, it's doing exactly that, you know? So like inadvertently, like they might be just think they might like think of him that way, and they might want people to think of him the way people are thinking of him, like, oh God, here comes this jerk who's going to ruin everything, and
And
like he might want people to think of him that way.
and honestly, it still does feed The Rock's ego because it means people are still talking about him.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not in the best light, but if he wants to be looked at as this heel instead of, oh, he's a scumbag, oh, he's playing the heel character here. Um any what's the saying? Any news is good news.
No, there's
Like,
no bad publicity. Yeah.
yeah, like his as long as people are talking about him, it's still publicity for him. And my problem with it though is he's got to make an appearance. Like, if you want to be involved and have people talking about you, you got to at least show up every so often and do something. You know what I mean? The
So
fact
does
that
he
he
show
hasn't
up
shown,
tonight?
I think he shows up. And like you said, even if it's just to inadvertently help Cody, it still then puts that question in everybody's mind of, oh, was that intentional? You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't do a Cody heel turn, you have The Rock show up, you have him getting in Cena's face. And I mean, I've been saying for months now, and we've talked about Cena and where we think he's going to end. I've been saying that Rock is going to be Cena's last opponent. And as terrible of a match as it's going to be, I still think that's the case. And this kind of reaffirms it for me. I mean, we very well can have The Rock come back and be like, "Who the hell do you think you are, talking talking shit about me like that?" For Cena to go to respond and The Rock to say, "It doesn't matter who you are," like he does. Sorry, that was my bad Rock impression.
Well, I
Um,
mean, where are they going to do this though? They're not going to do it on a random episode of TV. It would have to be at Survivor Series.
exactly. I think that's where it is. I think Cena's last match is going to be at Survivor Series against The Rock because The Rock's original debut was at Survivor Series. And The Rock's ego always needs to have things revolve around him.
Yeah.
Where what bigger place than to have John Cena versus The Rock in John Cena's final match and watch it be for something like watch it be for like The Rock's seat on the board. If Cena wins, The Rock has to vacate his seat on the board.
That would be something.
Tell me
I
that
mean,
wouldn't be an awesome storyline.
that would be a lot of fun. I mean, you know what? If that's like what we're going to use the last 10 or 12 John Cena appearances is to just have a feud with Dwayne, I would be, because Dwayne was one of his biggest feud between, Punk and Dwayne were some of Cena's biggest feuds, right?
Yep,
Like as a wrestler. So I mean, he fought Dwayne 2 years in a row at WrestleMania, right? I
yep.
mean, so yeah, I mean it would be fitting. So, we'll certainly see where it goes. I don't think I'm changing my mind though. I was kind of like wavering a little bit. I still think Cody's going to win tonight.
So do I.
I think it's the right thing to do to put that belt on Cody because you got so many like ready-made feuds. I think like you got Randy waiting in
Drew.
the wind, you got Drew waiting in the wind. I mean, you could do another match with Logan Paul. Obviously Seth is out, right? And I no longer think that Punk is going to be involved anymore.
Nope.
It very clearly is the main event of I feel like the main event of WrestleMania next year is probably going to be Cody and Randy.
So this is our fantasy booking segment.
Sure.
Um, I think that you're right. With Seth winning, taking the title from Punk, we'll talk the Raw side first. I think that it 100% takes Punk out of the picture on involving himself with Cody on that side. I mean,
Which I don't hate. Like,
no,
I mean, I would have loved a CM Punk Cody Rhodes match, which I still
yeah,
think we'll get it at some point. Assuming Punk doesn't retire before it happens. I still
right.
think maybe 2027's WrestleMania we'll see that. But
So I think that you have the thing with Raw is you have a handful of fantastic contenders for Seth. And like I said earlier on this show, Seth, it's going to be a reign of terror for Seth. It's going to be almost as bad as when it was the Authority. I mean that's also partially why I think they need an additional person in Seth's group. It's going to because everybody's going to have to run through them before they get to Seth. And you have obviously Punk, you have Roman, you have Sammy, um, you have
Jay,
a couple of you have Jay. I mean, so you have several faces. Hell, technically, you have Gunther trying to get his title back at some point. And I think a
you have
Seth Gunther match would be fantastic.
and you have LA Knight as well, who beat him at
Yes,
Saturday Night's main event. So I mean, hell, if anything, you're right. Seth may need to add more people to his group because, like, looking at it, unless they do the bloodline thing over again, your War Games match has five faces against three heels right now. I
yep.
mean, Roman, Sammy, Jay, LA Knight, and CM Punk all can't stand, and they're all in a feud with Seth Rollins' group,
I mean,
right?
when's the last time you've seen a champion with six feuds going on at once? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
five feuds going on at once. Where I mean, just look at all the title matches he'll have. He's going to face LA Knight at some point because
Yep.
LA Knight beat him at Saturday Night Main Event. That automatically makes Knight a contender.
Yep.
Jay is a former champion contender.
Sammy,
Sammy beat Karrion Cross. Can't
Roman,
stand Roman. He's Roman Reigns. He's friggin' OTC.
and
And
Punk.
Punk, who he took the title off of. That's five PLEs worth of how many? I mean, how many PLEs do we have before Mania? We have
So you got Paris, Australia, Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. That's
exactly,
five contenders.
exactly. And then all leading up to Punk winning the Rumble and Punk getting his true main event at WrestleMania, not night one. He's going to get the main event of night two, which is the true main event of WrestleMania. And
You don't
finally,
think
Punk,
you don't think and no, I disagree with
I
that.
do, because I think Punk at some point is going to get his real main event. Because yeah, he had night one this year, but night one isn't really the main event. Night two is. And I think that you get Punk versus Rollins on the main event of night two, with Punk winning the title back.
It's a bigger I will give you right now, it's a bigger story, but we've got a long time to build up Cody and Randy as well.
I don't think Cody and Randy needs to be the main event of night two.
It does.
I
It
think it's
doesn't right. It doesn't right now. It doesn't right now, but it might. I'm holding off until we get to like January before I make up my mind as to what
so
like
let's
right now you're absolutely right. It's a better story with Punk and Rollins, but Cody and Randy have a long time to tell that story. And then whenever we get whatever heel turn is going to happen on one of those guys, that's going to be a big moment.
so let's roll over to SmackDown then. So we still don't know who's actually going to win tonight. If Cena wins, what happens?
Cena, yeah, that's part of the problem, right? Like that's the only reason why I don't think Cena's going to win, because then it's just like who takes the title off of him then? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Honestly, like who takes the title off of John Cena if he loses tonight or if he wins tonight? I like
Right.
that's why I think Cody has to win because like Cody's the only believable because he already beat Randy, right? He already beat, I mean, whatever with our truth. And obviously he's not going to face Punk again. So unless Roman Reigns decides to go after him, which I don't think that makes no sense to do. So I just, there's nobody to beat John Cena unless they're going to have Gunther do it, like I said. But
Well, that's the problem is that Cena has no, unlike Raw with Seth, Cena has no. You gotta adjust that so we can see your shirt. Um, gotta unlike Raw, Cena has no notable contenders outside of Cody, and that's a problem. Like when you have one show that has the next five PLEs already bookable, when you have Cena, as cool as it would be to see Cena now as a face with the title, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Um, because I mean, the talk with Gunther is that it wouldn't be till like December, and how are you going to fill those next 4 months for Cena?
so just real quickly though, what do we do with Gunther now?
He takes some time off first. I bet we don't see Gunther for maybe a month. I could see him taking time off. I mean, he's done a lot. I mean, he lost the title for what, like a month, 2 months to Jay, before he was back in contention. And I think they'll give him some time off. He'll come back. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him floating around the title picture, but maybe who's our IC champ right now? Dom. Maybe we see an AJ Styles versus Gunther. I just I'm not
I
sure.
think he's gonna go over to SmackDown. Seems like he'd be a really fun. You could do him and Cody at the Royal Rumble. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I just You're right. I think Gunther going to SmackDown would probably be better for him. I know you and T have talked a lot about there being a draft, and I think that now that SummerSlam is over, once they get through the Paris show, I think that a draft makes sense at that point. I think it was too soon when you guys were originally talking about it. But I think now that we've had this we're having the SummerSlam reset here, I think that now is a good time to do it. And we very well could see Gunther go over there. Um, the problem is, though, if we see a draft, it messes up all of our predictions for Seth. So I also could see them not doing one. But
Necessarily need to do a draft. I just think Gunther could just show up on SmackDown, right? Because
yeah,
Cody might need a challenge, and Gunther could just show up. You know what I
so
mean?
in regards to that, let's move on to Cody winning.
Yeah.
So Cody wins, be it clean or be it by him turning heel. First, let's go the clean route. He wins clean. He's still a face. He may do some questionable things, but he's still obviously a babyface. Who are his contenders?
Randy, Drew, Dwayne.
You think we see Dwayne?
I mean,
Potentially, potentially
uh,
Gunther.
here and potentially Gunther. And here's my and I mean, you could build. There are a lot of heels on SmackDown. He could face Logan Paul again.
Aleister
You know,
Black.
Aleister Black. Um, here's my here's my way to get CM Punk out of the main event of night one as well, to what you said earlier. Cody versus Dwayne. Tell me
You have
Cody.
that.
You tell me Cody Rhodes versus The Rock is not the main event of night two next year. If that
Yeah,
like
that would.
if that were to happen, that's the main event next year.
It would have to be just because of Dwayne to ego. It would 100% have to be the main event
Well,
of night two.
and of the main event and of the main the main audience, the mainstream people, right? Like it's oh my God, it's The Rock,
It would be
like
such a terrible match, though.
it would not be. I mean, Cody is a good wrestler. Like
Yeah,
Cody could carry Dwayne to a decent match.
I mean, yeah, I mean, him and Seth carried Dwayne and Roman through that tag match.
Well, I mean, Roman's good though too. I mean, three of the four people who were in that match are some of the best wrestlers in the business. So
Yeah,
like, I think it'll be fine.
but do we think
Can't be
Dwayne
any
gets
worse
back
than
in?
it can't be any worse than Cody and Cena was at WrestleMania this past year.
Yeah, I just that match also just wasn't helped by the booking decisions.
Yeah.
Um, I think that you're right that it does make Dwayne a potential contender, and it finally goes back to the storyline of that whole stupid title thing that they did after Mania last year.
Hmm.
We finally get some long running closure on that. Okay, so we've got. I mean, I think that for Randy to feud on Cody, it requires a heel turn. So if if Cody stays face, I think we definitely see the Randy heel turn on him then. Which I'm behind. I'd be fine with that being a WrestleMania main event as well. But let's go the opposite direction. Let's go Cody turns heel, be it aligning himself with The Rock or not. Where do we go?
You still have and then you have a face Randy.
Yep.
LA Knight could get himself in there for sure. Again, Aleister Black,
Isn't
Damian
Alice
Priest.
isn't Aleister Black a heel though, technically?
Not really. I mean, he's a gray area, right? You could still do that match. Damian Priest, you could do that match. I mean, I don't think Damian Priest would beat him, but you could do that match. There's so many
I
guys. There are so many. You have a lot. You have a plethora. Jay, you could do a match between Cody and Jay.
You could get your Punk Cody match at that point if he wasn't involved. If they needed him to fill, if say the Roman's facing Seth, Punk versus Cody, Punk comes in trying to talk sense into Cody. I
He's like,
think
yeah,
that
and he'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna beat it out of you. I don't think
exactly.
I don't think they're gonna do that though, because I don't think they want to have Punk lose too much if he's going to be the one to beat Seth. Because
It
I
was
think
just a thought.
I think Punk is out of the running with Cody for a while.
Okay. I think though, my point being, I think Cody has a bigger variety of contenders if he turns heel.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe Joe Hendry.
I would be 100% behind that. But TNA is, I don't know what TNA is doing. Um, Hopefully Hendry comes to WWE and they actually can book him the way that he needs to be booked.
Hell,
Um,
you could have Sammy too. You could have Sammy face
that could be
Cody.
who comes over to try to talk sense into Cody. Sammy and Jay.
Yeah. And then you've got some ready-made feuds if Cody does turn heel.
I forgot to mention it real quick. Back during the Punk Gunther and the Seth cash-in, how crazy was it? How insane the crowd went for Seth cashing in.
I mean, everybody loves a cash in.
Yeah, but everybody was loving Punk winning. Like it was way more. The crowd was way more into that than I expected them to be.
Well, but you got to remember too that the live crowds are not the internet crowds, right? And the live crowds don't, they're mostly, I mean, it's like 30% people under the age of 14. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like they're not on the internet. They're not into like, oh, we don't, they don't watch like us. They don't watch, all these other guys on the internet, and they're not into the like they don't know who Dave Meltzer is and like all of this other crap, which I wish I didn't know who Dave Meltzer was.
I wish
And
nobody knew who Dave Meltzer was.
right? So like I think
Sorry,
they
Dave.
were like that's genuine shock. You know what I mean? Because most of the people who go to those shows, they're not hardcore wrestling fans, like like
Right.
the people like us. So I think a lot of it is genuine surprise, and the live audience really does tell you who they like and who they don't like, and it doesn't really. That's why I wish I would have gone with my gut a while ago with, when we were doing the predictions with Sami Zayn, because I kind of knew Sami Zayn was going to win. I really did, because like it's a live crowd thing. The way WWE books him, the way WWE doesn't give a crap about Karrion Cross. Like I knew Sami Zayn was going to win, but my fantasy
I mean,
booking, my heart wanted Karrion Cross to win. So whatever.
exactly.
I'll take the L with that one. But like I kind of knew Sammy was going to win.
No, you're 100% right. I was predicting with my heart there, and being the Cross fan that I am, and the fact that WWE has done him dirty as much as they have. Um, so where do they go with him while we're fantasy booking? Do we think he actually leaves?
Want him to
I just
go to. I mean, hell, go to
go to
TNA.
TNA.
Yeah,
As a former TNA World Champion, and with the work that WWE is doing with TNA, it's August. He leaves. He goes to TNA. Because I'm sure WWE would let him sign with TNA without waiting through his 90 day. You have him show back up at the Royal Rumble as TNA champion
yeah.
and get involved like that and come back to WWE in some sort of crossover. I think that would be huge.
The problem is you have too many guys right now in the world title picture. And I've said this on this channel before, but unfortunately, as much as people want everybody to be in the main event,
Not everybody can.
not everybody can be in the main event. Like we said, you got like five guys on Raw right now who are in the main event. And you know what? You've got pretty much all of your PLEs booked between now and WrestleMania for Seth's title. If Seth even defends that title at every single show, which he won't, right?
Right.
Like it'll only be one of the two titles that gets defended in Paris, and it'll only be one of the two titles that likely gets defended in Australia. Survivor Series, yes. Hell, we could do a champion versus champion match at Survivor Series. Wouldn't that be a lot of fun if
I'd be down for that.
Cody and Seth had a match? And then you had the guys, because then you could have the bloodline do its thing in war games, right? And then you could have the Bronze get involved, Roman and Punk get involved, and you do some kind of match between like Roman, Punk, and Cody versus Seth's group.
Yeah.
That would be fun. I mean, so there are certainly a lot of ways you can go with it. So I don't know. I don't think Cody's going to turn heel. Is like I think ultimately where this goes. I think it's going to be questionable, but I don't think unless the Dwayne thing happens and they really want to send everybody home like you know
Pissed
wow
off.
you know. But
Um,
I've said this though. Like, how did Knight? Oh no, you're right. You know what? We did have heels, or we did have the heels winning both nights of WrestleMania to close out the show because Seth turned, and then
yep.
we had the Cena thing. So do
Yep.
you think do you think they do that again at SummerSlam?
So I'm about 60-40 on Cody turning. I think that I'm starting to lean more towards the turn, but I'm still not 100% sold on it. I mean, Cody is still so, regardless of what the internet says, Cody is still incredibly popular. I mean, we've seen a few chinks in his armor lately where people
It's
have been
it's because he's feuding with John Cena.
exactly. So this feud itself has caused some of those issues. Um, I'm not quite sold on it. I'm in a similar boat as you, but I think 60-40 on a heel turn.
Do you really want to? I mean, do they really want to give up all of that merchandise that they're selling on Cody
I think
though?
he'll
Because
sell. I think he'll still the merch will still sell.
I mean,
And they need to make a Codelander shirt though.
he's such a pure baby face though. You know what I mean? I don't know how
That's
well I don't know how well Cody would work as a heel.
that's the problem, and that's why I'm not 100% sold on it because you're right. I think that the that Cody as a face just works better. I mean, he is everybody loves to cheer him and see him overcome adversity. And as much as I hated like that first Mania where he lost to Roman, I think that was the right call at the time to have the story continue.
Yeah.
And everyone likes to see him finish his story. But don't I don't know if you've heard, but don't count out too. There's been talk about a Brock Lesnar return.
Oh my
So
God. Could you imagine if Brock shows up tonight in the main event?
like it hasn't been
Oh, Brock already feuded with Cody though.
yeah, but Brock comes out and hits Cena.
And we do a Cena Brock match.
And we do a Cena Brock rollback to
Oh my
suplex to Suplex
God.
City.
Oh my God. Can you
Right?
imagine?
I mean, I know that's kind of out there, but I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days, and watch how about that? I mean, there's your shock, there's your big return. It's not The Rock, but it's Rock with a B.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Dude, I would pop. You know what? I would pop hard. No one's been talking about Brock Lesnar for a while. That would be friggin' wild if Brock
Like,
Lesnar showed up. Actually, shout out to one of our subscribers who actually put that in the comments to our last video that he thinks
yep,
Brock is going to show up. So, props to you, man. If you nailed it. So I hope you're right because I think that would be awesome.
that
So,
100% is what put it into my mind and why I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days because it's one of our most loyal subscribers. So we appreciate your comments. And you definitely put that seed into my head, and it's kind of stuck there now. And I, like you just said, Mike, I would pop huge for it. And I don't know if we're gonna do. I hope we do another live stream tonight for it. I think it would be fun to do. And I think that people seeing us lose our minds over Brock coming back would be pretty entertaining.
All right, guys. So that was SummerSlam Night 1. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below, if along with all of our predictions and our fantasy bookings. And we're going to have another episode for you guys tomorrow where we break down Night 2, as well as our overall thoughts for the show and where we go from here. So, as always, I've been Mike with 716 Sports Entertainment, joined by Mr. Sean O'Neill. And guys, enjoy SummerSlam tonight, and we'll see how those predictions are going to look when we get to tomorrow. So have
The
yourselves
dust
a
settles.
fantastic evening and take care.